Are we ready? All right, yeah, we're now rolling. Okay, so before I get started with today's stream, I was actually asked by I'm not. We'll say an equate. Well, I'll just tell you straight up. Grand Houndini asked me to answer a few questions about how to use OBS, and considering the fact they kind of just really didn't give any specific questions, I'm just gonna kind of show how I do the whole setup, all the settings you have to go through, and all that jazz. Now, just as a little disclaimer, I'm going to be showing you OBS here on the main screen. I have XSplit sitting over here where I normally have OBS. In fact, here I can quickly show you. Here's my side screen. Right here in the corner, you can actually see right here. This is XSplit. Normally my OBS would be right here. So actually, we'll kind of just quickly go over the basic setup, how I do this anyway. We've got 3 screens, if you didn't know that. This is the center screen that you're looking at right now. This is where the game would be. I have screen 2 over here. This is kind of my control panel sort of area. We've got the chat window here. This is where I can see all of the channels. And this is where OBS would be. This is where I transition my screens. And then this would be stream labels, where any sort of new notification would come in, with the exception of subscriptions. They don't show up here yet. That's kind of annoying, but you know, we just have to deal with it. Then over here on my final screen over here, I made myself smaller so that you can see. That's where I've got my Discord window. This one, this screen I kind of just let be whatever it needs to be. If I'm playing a Jackbox game, this is where I'll have Revlo for the various betting contests. This is where I'll have my Jackbox control panel and all that jazz. And then as you can see here, I've got my CPU meter, my GPU meter, and my network meter. CPU, GPU, network. All right. So that's my basic setup. Where the magic happens is in OBS. All right. I'm going to be talking about OBS Studio for this one. If you want to know about playing OBS, you are making a poor life decision. Don't. Just learn OBS Studio. Your life will be happier. I guarantee it. So let's actually just go over the basics of the interface. What you have here, this is what's going to show up on your screen. On your stream, I should say. Right here. Right now, if you've seen any of my streams, you know that this is the stream starting screen. All right. Down here, this is where you'd have your audio levels. OBS, you can see when I've got it enabled, you can see my mic levels adjusting a bit. OBS is actually very nice in the fact that the meter is very, very, very big. So you can very easily tell, even when you're doing nothing. Like right now, OBS isn't recording or streaming. But with it, you could tell what your game audio is, what your mic audio is, and be able to adjust that without having people constantly go, no, you're too loud, you're too quiet, that sort of stuff. You can get it pretty much on the dot if you master these meters. Now, normally I have my mic maxed out, and I've got my game roughly at the 3/4 mark. In addition, when you're adjusting those things, you should also, over on a different screen, have down here, as you can see, your volume mixer. So you can adjust your levels down there accordingly as well. That's also important. All right, so let's actually get through setting up OBS itself. So first things first, you want to go to your settings. And then it's kind of good just to go through everything as a whole. Let me do that again because I had it on my second screen. Down here, you have your 5 main controls. Go to settings, all right? And it's kind of good to just go through and go through each one individually. Language, English, theme, you can set it to whatever you want. I like having these sort of things as light as possible. And the main reason being that if I have the main lights off, then all the various widgets and gadgets that are on the screen provide light onto my face, so that it keeps me illuminated even in a dark environment. Show confirmation screen when starting streams, stopping streams. That's up to you. Hide cursor over projections. Make projections always on top. Automatically record when streaming. They're all kind of self-explanatory. I'll be real honest, I'm not sure what it means by projections or projectors. I just keep it off. And source snapping. These are all just basically general tweaks. Adjust as you want. Then of course here is where the magic happens, okay? You want to this is important when you set up. You want to make sure you select your service. In my case, I go to restream.io. That's so I can simulcast on 6 networks. More than likely, you're going to be doing it on just Twitch and not doing anything super crazy. And then set that, and then of course, punching your stream key, whatever it may be. All right. You want to make sure you get this just right. And whatever your server location is, set it to the closest one to you. I ended up picking Dallas. I had it actually as what was it? Washington D.C. actually gave me better connection than before, but when the DDoS attack happened on Friday, Dallas was the only one I could connect to. So I'm sticking with that. I'm seeing good results from that, etc., etc., etc. Output. This is important. First off, just you're going to have it at simple to start with. Screw that noise, go to advanced right away. You want to get this stuff pretty much set right off the bat. Alright, mess with your audio settings and your encoder, whatever seems and sounds right to you. The encoder's just the encoder. Normally, when you start out, unless you have a lot of faith in your rig, you're going to want to rescale your output down to 1280 by 720. Get yourself down to that 720p high def range. If you think you have the bandwidth and you have the rig to handle it, then put yourself up to 1080p. Most people who view streams do not display at full screen. They're going to have their stream on a smaller screen and then have the chat. That was obnoxious. My headphones just went out. I don't know why they did that in the middle of taking my audio. Alright, so don't be afraid to get down to the 1280 by 720. You're not going to miss much. If you think you're ready for it, then do it. But what's more important is getting this bit rate. Alright? The ideal rate is 2/3 of your upload speed. I currently have 5 megabits, 5 megabit upload, so that puts me at about two-thirds of that's about 3,500. But the cap, the most that anything's gonna accept, is 3,300. So if you're like me and you have 5 megabits or higher, just do 3300 and you're fine. You're golden. All right. If you got less than that, lower your bit rate down to 2/3 of whatever your bandwidth is. All right, this one, I'll be real honest, I'm not entirely sure what a keyframe interval is, but various services wanted this at 2. Twitch was included in this, so I set it to 2. Maybe it'll cooperate at 0. I'm sure it will. I mean, more than likely it will. I can't imagine it wouldn't. And then CPU usage preset. The higher it is, the faster you are, the less CPU it's using. I've got it on very fast, and it seems to be working just fine, so that's pretty much where I've just left it. All right, and then that's it for the streaming settings. And recording, just get your recording path. If you want to really screw around, you can go with custom outputs. I don't bother. You'll want to stick with like MP4 if you plan on uploading to YouTube. And then you can record at 1080p and stream at 720 if you want. I think that's kind of cheesy because I'd rather give the same experience to the YouTubers that I would to the streamers. That's just my opinion. Then audio, you can adjust this however you want. Okay, all of this I pretty much just left as is. 44.1 kilohertz seems fine. You can always just tweak your settings a little bit. Do a quick recording of a sound test before going live. That's always fine to do. You want to make sure your primary audio device is set to whatever your best mic is. Like, one of the things that blew me away was the fact that one day after a Windows update, I noticed I was peaking. This got set to the webcam mic, which is absolutely terrible. So you always want to make sure your good studio mic's picked, all right? Then video, you want to make sure your base canvas resolution is set to whatever your screen resolution is. In my case, it's 1080p. And then downscaled to whichever. And then your downscale filter, just tweak it. And that's also why I say your recorded resolution should be the same as your streaming one, just so that you can also get a good feel when you're doing tests to see how you look, and just tweak with that however you see fit. And that's also why it's important to have some sort of CPU and GPU meter, so that if you're doing a all-in-one system like I am, like this rig here, there's only one computer powering it all. So, like, I know other people will be doing, like, they have their streaming rig, and then a capture card, and then their gaming rig. Whether that be an Xbox, a game console, or an actual separate computer specifically built for gaming. So if you're doing an all-in-one setup, definitely get yourself some CPU and GPU meters so you can see what's going on. Then your FPS value, I started off at 30 and it was okay. I bumped up to 48 and there was a noticeable improvement. And then finally we're just up at 60 now that I've got the newer rig, now that I've got 12 cores to play with and all that fun jazz. So just set it however you see fit. And then these settings, just go through, tweak them as need be. It's pretty self-explanatory. if you're doing any sort of competitive play where you are playing against your streamers, so like let's pretend I was playing Hearthstone against people who are also watching me. Enable your stream delay and put a 1-minute delay or a 30-second delay. That way, screen watching you is literally worthless. They will know they'll be not only the 8 seconds behind, but 38 seconds behind. Now, if you know my streams, I stream a lot of Jackbox games, so I don't have that delay enabled for obvious reasons. Then your auto reconnect. I didn't even know I had a maximum retry set. I don't want to have a maximum retry set. And that's that. Alright, so that's your settings. Now the rest of the magic with OBS happens on this interface, the primary interface. Alright? So you've got your view window here, you've got your audio levels down here, and more devices will show up. Like if I go to the full screen, it's got my face cam. Like right now my face cam doesn't show up because XSplit's using it. But you can see like the audio levels for the face cam show up. So let's say you had 2 mics, one for you and one for a co-streamer that was also in not the same room but a different room, so that your mics aren't picking up each other. That's another important thing if you're going to do multiple mics. You can adjust their levels right here. I of course have this enabled for obvious reasons. Hey look, that contest is still going on today. And so as you switch around, you'll see there. All you do is just click on it to make it happen. That's all it takes. Actually, I should get rid of this one. And move that there. All right. So let's pretend I don't have any of these settings right now. All right. Let's pretend I want to go ahead and just start brand new opener. All right. So now as you see, I hit the plus sign and then I hit brand new opener. And then it's now down here on this list of scenes. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to move brand new opener to the top. All right, and right now you just have a blank canvas. It's just perfectly black. All right. So let's say I wanted to capture a game. We're going to say I wanted to capture Minesweeper. Actually, no. Let's actually take a different. We want this to be a opener. That's right. So let's have it just be like, let's go grab an image. Go to opener. I'm going to go over here, make sure that I'm getting really annoyed by that. Headset died again because there's no audio pumping through it. Even though it is recording audio, that's getting really obnoxious. So here's a safe image. Want to make sure I didn't get anything weird. So you'll pick browse on over here, and then we'll say here, I want to pick this picture. Bam. There's that there. So you just say, okay, we'll go okay. And then you'd want to just get like something real basic up there. Just some text. And we'll say like welcome. And then you want to start off by saying something simple like, you'll say like, welcome, stream is starting soon. You can go through here, select your color, select your opacity, all that wonderful jazz. Alignment, we're going to make that center, and that's about all we're going to do because we want this to just be real quick. I want to actually get to some other stuff. Then you can just take this, drag around wherever you want. Click these circles, and so on and so forth. We'll just put that right up in the sky there. All right? So, that's a fantastic start to it. All right? But if you notice on my other ones, I mean, you can tell there's only 4 objects here. The background, the text, this very perverse picture, which now switched to Yuri eating whatever that is, and then this gray box here. What's all that, and why do I have 6 objects here? And it's very simple, actually. All of those are what are called browsers. All right, just about anything can be a browser. So, for example, one of the most notorious ones is the Twitch alert. All right? Here's how you do it. First, you're going to go down to your plus for sources. You're going to go up to browser source. And as you can see, I have a bunch of browser sources already. But I'm going to be showing you how to do this from scratch. So we're going to be doing ZOMG Twitch alert. All right, now this looks really intimidating, but it's actually not. Over on my other window over here, you can see I've got Streamlabs up. This is where I get all my Twitch alerts from. And getting this to work is very, very simple. All you do, you take this right here, this web address, copy it, go back over to your primary screen, and where it says URL, you paste. All right, and then you adjust your width and height wherever you want. All right, most people do something like this. They'll say like, okay, I want my alerts to just show up like, for whatever reason, a lot of people do it like down here. Okay? I have mine take up the whole screen. I use a lot of transparencies so that the words show up on the bottom. If there's one that deserves a lot of fanfare, you've got a GIF that comes up, but it never dominates 100% of the entire screen. And then just to show what that would look like, it would look something like this. And on your Streamlabs sort of thing, you can always just go test.
Hello there, children.
Ooh, that's a lot of echo. But normally I don't get that sort of stuff, but that's primarily because I don't know why that actually is. Why do I have echo? I might have to look into that before I start the stream. But I'm going to assume it's just because I've got OBS running and I've got what's it called over here running. And that's always good when you're testing your alerts. Test all of them.
Hello there, children.
Test your follow alert. In my case, also test my sub alert. That's kind of interesting. Follow is having an echo. Sub isn't. Might have to look into that. And then if you've got multiple donation alerts, like I have 3 right now, you want to test those.
This a test donation for $44. This is a test donation for $44.
Well, that was weird. Test your top tip if you got it. Maybe I have two OBSs open.
This is a test donation for $24.
Okay, then. And when you test through Streamlabs, it's going to be different every time. And then test the last one. Wow, that's loud. Tweak that.
This is a test donation for $35.
Alright, well, that's actually a test donation for $6.66, but okay, whichever. Alright, so that's all the donation tests. Hosting alert works as well. It's always good before you stream to test that sort of stuff. Always good. And that's even before you fire up for the opener. Alright, and then also, let's say you want that on-screen chat. The one I've got is actually kind of really bizarre. But you can actually do a really simple one over here. Not on this screen. On this screen. Over on Streamlabs. Just go down here to chat box. And then once again, just take this browser. Then you just copy paste it just like you would with the Twitch alert. Okay, and then you would set up the and then as far as the actual stream itself, whatever your main screen is, that's actually fairly simple too. So we'll make a new one. We're going to call it main screen turn on. Bring that up. And then we're going to... Oh, one thing before we... Actually, we'll show here. So first thing first, you want to get your capture of some kind. And you actually have multiple options here. You can go with a game capture, you can go with a display capture, you can go with a browse... not a browse source. Game capture, display capture... Is window capture gone? Oh, there we go. Window capture, video capture device. So we're actually going to go with a game capture. And actually in this case, we're going to do something stupid because this will be a game that no one will ever stream ever. You want to make sure your game is running when you do when you want to search for a game capture. That is key. So you'll go here to the plus, go to game capture, and you want a new capture. Minesweeper. Capture any full screen application. It is best in this case to go capture a specific window. And in this case, you want to go search for that window. We've got a lot of BS open right now, but in our case, it is going to be... Wait, where the hell is it? Oh, here it is. Application frame host Minesweeper. There it is. You can tweak these a little bit. We're not going to, though. And we can tell that didn't work. So it's quite possible we have the wrong one. It's also quite possible that Minesweeper is not capturable in that regard. So it's quite possible Minesweeper cannot be captured with game capture. And that's kind of the trick with trying to get your game capture, especially on a setup like I've got, you kind of have to try and test and tweak until you get an answer that works. So we'll try window capture here. Wow, Minesweeper does not want to get captured. That's impressive. I'm not even mad. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, I know what I would have done in that case. If Minesweeper didn't want to be captured, just go up and do a display capture and just capture the monitor that Minesweeper will be on. But in our case, we're not going to do that. We are, however, going to go ahead and just grab this. We're going to go awesome sized. Ask me before starting the game, bro. Start the game. All right. I'm actually going to keep that minimized for right now. We'll go game capture. Ow! Ow! This is why testing is important. And you can see I just go over here, tweak the volume down. I'm going to shut him up for now. Alright, so then we go capture specific window. Go to window. We pick our game, which is down here. Toho, Legacy of the Lunatic Kingdom. And even though we have it minimized, it's not on any of the screens right now. I'm actually not even showing the screen. Okay, there we go. So actually, let me go and do that all over again. So, properties. Toho 15 test. Do that again. Capture a specific window. Search for your window name. In this case, it's going to be Toho. Adjust as needed. This looks fantastic. Then adjust your window size as needed. I usually try to make sure that the window this is taken up as that the window takes up the majority of it. Really, you want to take up the entire thing. I see a lot of streamers, they try to get really creative, showing off like all sorts of this and that. There's some guys where the game itself, the focus of the stream, is only half of the screen. We can do better than this, guys. In any case, and then just go with your other stuff. Go with your video capture, go grab your face cam, which in my case isn't going to work because XSplit's using it. Go get your browser go get your Twitch alerts. Make sure they work. Then go get your chat if you want it. The good spots like right here where you've got empty screen real estate. Because you're going to put all sorts of nice little gadgets like that. And there you go, your basic sort of setup there. No, it remembers where I Oh no, go the fuck away, game. Okay, that was horrifying. It remembered where I failed last time. Ugh. Ugh. It's horrifying. Now, that covers pretty much everything, but I want to go over one last thing, and that's studio mode. Alright? If you look at this right now, and actually I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these two. Actually, I'm going to keep this for a minute. So let's say you had this. What's on the right is what is live and active. What's on the left is what you're about to transition into. Alright, so I can sit here forever. Right over here to that. And I could have this be my setup forever. Alright? In fact, actually, let me just get Toho back up. Yeah, I know it's outdated. Start the game. Alright, so let's say I'm over here. I'm chatting in the chat. And all that jazz. So, we're sitting over here, we're playing a good time. We're having a good time. Which in this case, the answer is no, because we left off here at this hellhole. And let's say I want to rage quit out. I'm done for now. Let me just go ahead, clear my head after 10 hours of frustration and bashing my head against the keyboard, and go, let me go get something to drink. You just go, alright, I'm gonna go relax for a bit. Of course, let your stream know, obviously. And then all you have to do is right here, click on one of the transitions you already set up, and you can just do that right here. Just transition over. You'll see this faded over to the other screen. And you're now showing your AFK screen. And let's say, after thinking about it, you switch back, you try a few more times, and you just fail at life so hard that it hurts. You just go, okay, that's it, guys. I thank you all for coming out here, but I just can't do this anymore. Switch to your closing screen, fade over, and then say, take care, everyone. And in my case, I always play an outro theme. Obviously, Happy Trails. And that's basically all there is to it. Start stream, of course, is for starting the stream. It'll become stopping stream, same thing with recording it. I highly recommend, even though it sounds redundant, let me close this for a minute because I want this to be clear. Even if you are just uploading your videos from the Twitch archive, I strongly recommend that you, anytime you stream, and it is something you want to be archived up into, say, a YouTube, record on your end and upload it after the stream is done. Always, always, always. Because you never, ever know when your internet's going to cut out and you don't even realize it, and you just keep going. So you can go, I'm sorry guys, we had technical difficulties, the stream cut out early, but you can see what happened by going to YouTube. And this also goes to say if a woodpecker pecks a cable or something weird happens and the stream becomes real garbled, you've got the recording on your end, which is pure and unhindered by any sort of compression. I cannot tell you how many people I see go ahead and just count on the fact that Twitch or Beam or whoever will just archive the stream. What if it didn't come through clearly? What if you ran into some interference? That's why you record. Record on your end and upload the pure video. I can't even tell you how useful that's been. Alright? Well, that's going to include my quick tutorial. If you got any questions, feel free to contact me however you choose, whether it be in the comments below or through Twitch or whatever. You know, I'm a nice guy.